Some say that his ratings, and of course we're talking about T-Rump, some say that his ratings are on his way up. For those of you just joining video, I'm already on the air. I'm late, as you have come accustomed to. There we go. Oh, I'm using that. No, that's right. Okay. Um, some have him on an upward climb. Others have him on a downward trend. And like, who are you people talking to? And why do you say that you have an impartial poll, an impartial system? If it's anything but, I mean, this isn't that hard. So it's Thursday. Okay, there we are on that one. I'm still getting some of the other applications live. Yeah, it's one of those days. There's my Instagram alerts that were on live there. That's good. Member login. Jesus, come on. What the hell? There we go. Biz Growth Collective. How about 24-hour thing? Where is... Did they just redo this? God damn it. Why do you got to be such a pain in the ass? Biz Growth Collective. Where is the 24-hour chat room? I'm in, right? Oh, this is a pain in the ass. John and I are going to have a talk today. I mean, did they take it down? I can't even find it. No wonder there's nobody in it at any time. And Rachel, who's not a real person, I'll let you in on that secret. Free membership. No. Where is the chat room? You're taking forever, Rachel. I shouldn't take this long. Search or directly verify bid, create your listing. I'm in. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. I'm logged in as a member. There's the listing. There's my... Ugh. What a pain in the ass this is now. Dude, you are killing me with this. Business owner in Florida, yes. Oh, very business, create your listing. Done all that. We're business growth experts. You're not web development experts. Oh, I'm not doing this every day. This is why I didn't do it before. They make changes and find upcoming events. Oh, I cannot. Oh, this is pissing me off. I'm not going to lie. And Tillman Givens, the head of sales, just friended me on Facebook. I already been friended with John. I had so much good things to say to this. And now I can't find the damn room. Upcoming, it's in the events thing. Oh, that was painful. I finally found it. But that has got to be 3 clicks or less. That's how it's got to be. If you can't find it easily in 3 clicks or less, they're going to leave. Take a breath. Take a breath. There's that. Where do they have me on the cable output, game capture, microphone, voice meter? I'm going to go on that one because it's with the other. I'm just talking to myself, forgive me and bear with me. I appreciate it. I'm going to do that one. Actually, no. That's bad choice for that. I'm just talking about, figuring out what screen I'm going to share in this presentation window. Yeah, I'll do that one. There we go. Oh, for the love. Matrix, go lie down. And then, of course, this particular browser that I use, it's not like one of the major browsers. I just use it for this show because I need multiple browsers to do what I got to do. It's got everything else that I've got pinned on my primary browser, which is Chrome. Sorry for the rambling and the rough start. Again, you can't imagine with everything, all the connections I'm trying to make and the new things I'm trying to do, how frustrating so much of this is. In that, I'm trying to make this look like a good show, and the level of coolness that this can bring. But Jesus, that's why it's so much of a. All right, Trump ratings approval. Approval ratings. There we go. Pontiff update. I can't wait to show you this. Remember the other day when we were talking about the Constitution or whatever, and then we were watching Byron Donaldson. There is the, I don't know, where's the other one? There's that. There we go. Oh. We've got, this is why we have this up. This is why we have this up. I'm going to share you this screen. There we go. So I have two browser windows open. The larger one will be the things that we're going to talk about throughout the day. The other one is a smaller window connected to YouTube, and it's NBC's feed to their YouTube channel, which is coming from the Vatican. And it seems as though we may have an update. So let's go to that. See what they have to say. Wah, wah. Back to nothing. All right. Well, that's why we have it there on camera, so that we can keep it on our screen and on our radar. Now I got two dogs that want to play. 2 hours I'm going to be here. They had all morning to play. You hear them? This is my life. This is Daddy Ross's life. So there it is. While we have the shared screen thing going on, we'll also have the shared screen thing going on, if that made any sense. Is Doge saving money? Remember that at the end of each hour, we share the phone number. How many of you called? Let us know in the chat. How many of you actually called the Capital Switchboard? I want to know who has. Ken's there already, saying hello to everybody. Welcome. Good to see you as always, pal. Ken here to remind you to there he is. You know, I don't have a producer, but I do have a super fan. Sexy Chocolate, Ken Williams, reminding you to like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Not later, but right now. Send them a link. Thank you. What did I just do? Ah, they're back. Well, let's mute that until we actually see something going on there. Give them a call. Yes. Let's put that up. Well, I mean, it's going to come down as soon as I go through. He's lit up the chat already, but there's the phone numbers: 1-888-88-YERGS, 844-GAY-LGBT. Are you following a particular cardinal? Did you know the youngest cardinal in conclave right now, and therefore eligible to be next pope, is 45 years old? How cool would that be for the next pontiff to be in office for 40 years till he passes or retires? And not only that, but at 45, would he not be the best candidate to bring youth back into the Catholic Church? AI is rebelling today. Yeah, Ken says Rachel is an interesting name for the biz AI. Someone is a Blade Runner fan. Really? Is that, you think, where that comes from? I'll have to ask him, because I'm going to tell him that 24/7 button has got to be much easier. Ken says a small annoying inconvenience to log into that chat room. 3 clicks or less is what it's been for 15 years at least on websites and applications. And that was how long? 3 minutes? Way too long. Way too long. And finally, Ken says doggy breaks today. Yeah, apparently. Now they're fighting over a toy, which is a playful fight, which is fine. If you hear some rubber squeaking in the background, it's not me being dry humped without lube. It's it's a two dogs to, and I love that at 9 years old, Matrix still plays with Shady and does a great job. He is such a cool big brother. And his big brother, who passed away 2 years ago this past week, I think it was Saturday or Sunday. What? Now here he is. I'm going to go back to this a second. That is not it. Oh, I know why. Hold on. Get rid of that a minute. There we go. Oh, he was right there. There's his ass. Matrix. What are you looking at, buddy? What do you see over there? There's the dining room. You see all the liquor on the dining room table because I'm still reorganizing my bar. And there was Shady about to pick on her big brother. Let me fix this camera. We'll get back to our show here. So, yeah, he comes. I'll be sitting here at the desk working, and he sticks his nose up underneath my arm, usually right as I'm about to click something. And my arm goes flying across the front of me, and of course the cursor and the mouse go all over the place. He's a good boy. Where's Big Dog? All right, what else? Is Doge saving money? And of course, we'll have Pontiff updates throughout the day. A news break update. Another one that I'm not going to follow anymore. Newsbreak was a news website that you could be a contributor on. And for that reason, it was awesome. Of course, you have to consider the source. And I understand when they say they're going to a more applicant-based process. So everybody that was a contributor on Newsbreak had the opportunity, as I did, to fill out an application to be a contributor to their site. I just got yesterday, or maybe the day before, their regrets that I'm not going to be accepted into their higher standards. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not doing typewritten news stories, but I'm here every day. Do you know what it would take for me to do voice to text or to take the transcript of a show and quickly edit into an editorial news? I was at rallies, anti-Trump rallies. Tomorrow, last night, I covered my communities at the Sea Ranch Civic Association. I covered the meeting. Yeah, now we hear them playing. That's them. I covered the meeting. I could have put that in Newsmax. I covered a guy being electrocuted to death 3 or 4 blocks away. I covered ambulances reporting, and closing down traffic and other things that relevant to news, local news. But no, I'm not cool enough. So, could elevate my chair a little bit too there. What? There you go. For the next 2 hours. No, another hour and a half, we're going to be hearing them. All right, I got to take a break quick. When we come back, we'll check back in on the Pontiff, and if there is one, and then take a look at Trump's approval ratings and tell you what they're really showing us about not only Trump, but the country. Is Doge saving money? And more on Newsbreak and why I don't recommend using it. All right, this is puppy playtime in the Mastiff Media doghouse. It's up the middle on the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back right after this. What are you doing later? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym, but not just any gym. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Walk right up to the door. There's a QR code on the door. You can sign up right there. You've got no excuse. But not only that, their equipment is amazing. It's kept up well. It's expanded. There's stretching area. There's CrossFit. There's hardcore training. A dedicated area for stretching, dunk tanks, sauna, everything you need to get that Hernando beach body or keep your Clearwater beach body. You can train with your shirt off, you can scream, you can yell, and you won't be intimidated either. Go to Momentum Fitness and Wellness on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates. Build the momentum. Hour and 33 minutes of dog barking. You are on the Mastiff Media Network. Don't forget that. Build a space. Despite my bitching a few moments ago, I do believe in this and what it's going to do. It's not going to be without kinks. It's not going to be without issues. But we'll wrench on them together, all of us. To find out more, go to builda.space or scan the QR code at the top of the screen in the corner. By today's hashtag, fight hypocrisy. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. There's one down. Then also check out Biz Growth Collective. That's what I was bitching about. We'll get it fixed. We'll get it looking better. Go to Biz Growth Collective, B-I-Z, growthcollective.com. Or scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen. And like I said, I do believe in this company, in that company up there, Biz Growth or Build a Space, and this company, or this product here, Biz Growth Collective. There's wrenching to be done. I mean, who is not a better example of that than me? That doesn't mean it's not going to be done. It also doesn't mean that it's not going to be worth the wait. BizGrowthCollective.com and BuildDay.space. Check them both out today. All right, I'm trying to get my chin over top of that thing across the bottom. One of the things I want to get back into, doing more of, is morning motivation and giving you a positive message to take into your day. Bring the chill down a little bit. I want to keep that going during this, though. Peter Marshall was a game show host back in the 70s, or maybe into the 80s. You would remember him from the original with Paul Lynde as the center, Hollywood Squares. Peter Marshall was the host of that show, and apparently a pretty bright guy. I just knew he was the host of Hollywood Squares. He says, "May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right." Tell me that does not apply to now and our current situation within the United States and the United States government. An ineffective and impotent Congress, a handcuffed judicial system, and a tyrannical and authoritative executive branch, abusive executive branch, during which time, here we are, selecting a new pope. This is a major time for all of us to step up and do what is right. Why am I hearing a ding when I have everything vibrated? And now I'm being asked to yes, Ken actually messaged me on private. Yes, we were running late. And Jay is sending me, Jay Flanagan, a consultant, is sending me something I can't watch or listen to now. These people do know. Well, I know Ken knows. But I think these people know that I'm doing a radio show right now. I can't listen to your mixtape or whatever the hell I'm being sent. But yeah, I really love this one, and I think it really vibed for today, not just for our country, but for the world. And realize that we are in multiple civil wars right now. A trade war, or world wars, but also a civil war. A trade war, global military conflicts, all of which interact and intersect with the others. And then, like I said, I believe we as a nation here in the United States are in a civil war right now. And not the one that's supposed to happen every 2 to 4 years, federal elections, but instead a takeover. Not just the one that did happen, the attempt that did happen on January 6th. That was a coup. I've said that from day one, literally that day. I said a coup is going on right now. And I sat rocking back and forth on my sofa in Los Angeles, watching on TV. I wanted to be there at the Capitol and not supporting Trump ever. So yeah, unique times for all of us to step up. I know that the two accounters on YouTube, the two that just recently happened on TikTok, I think there was something else. I don't know. I think I'm being shadow banned on Facebook because all of a sudden there'll be something political or political in nature, and nobody sees it. And that's happening on TikTok and YouTube Shorts right now too. Which is why Yergs.com, Yergs.radio, RainbowRadio.gay, and Right Talk Radio, RightTalk.radio, are all hosted overseas. And why? Because I know this administration is going to continue to censor. That's what they do. When their pussy hurts, they come after you. And there's no bigger pussies than Donald Trump. So step up. Step up with me, as Ken has said. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want me to talk about or look into, investigate. I'm just going to sit here and ramble like I'm doing right now. But I've got things that I've looked into, and we're going to get to them next. But also, I am here for you. Tell me what you want me to report on? Or where is there something somewhere in the country or the world that you want to hear more about? I will do it. I will develop the contacts necessary. I'll do the research necessary, whatever it takes. I will give you some information, not to take me as gospel, but for you to take that further as a responsible consumer of journalism. Do your own homework and make your own decisions. What's coming next here? Ken's going to start doing a segment called The Mixtape. Are you a singer? I'm telling you guys, I've talked to him on the phone, and he's called in here already. Superfan Ken has another nickname, Sexy Chocolate. The man's got a voice. I think we both have faces for radio, but that's okay. All you need is just close your eyes. Close your eyes and vibe. Ride it. Ride with it. Oh, who just threw up in their mouth? Anybody? You see the numbers, 1-888-88-YERGS, 844-GAY-LGBT. I'm going to go on another rant here that might finish up this hour, actually. I have been doing a lot of work to expand this show. Despite some disorganization, yet again today, I know that we've got a really good product going here. Quick shout out to wherever it is. There's a group of you watching over on Talk TV 24 on YouTube. We're on there today, and I think we were there yesterday too. Kind of out of weekend, I guess. We've dropped YouTube for streaming purposes. And the reason is we've been censored there. We've been censored there a couple times. Also, a 2-hour show just doesn't do as well there. And that's why after this is over, I've got a meeting with my marketing team. But then I'll spend the night editing today's episode, cutting it up into shorter segments, and posting that as shorter episodes to YouTube and also Spotify, and where it gets sent out into the RSS feed world. So don't get comfortable there. Instead, here's what I want you to do. Here's where I want you to go. Bookmark these two. Where is it? There we go. Bookmark these two. Yergs.com. You can go there for video, just like you see on the screen now. It's actually the Twitch feed that gets sent to my website. You can also go to yergs.radio if you're driving, or if you're somewhere where you can't be watching video, but you're at work or doing whatever, and you want the audio only feed coming from Yergs Radio. That is 24/7. It's not just me. Yergs.com is my site. And that live feed is whenever my Twitch account, which is one of the destinations here that we use during the show, is live. So what was I bitching about now? Oh, so I'm expanding the Mastiff Media Network. And not only am I finding whatever I can find as far as talk internet radio stations, political stations, whatever, but they post an email address. And I take the time to write that email address and present to them what we got here. Not moments later, in a lot less time than it took me to write the email, I get a message from Microsoft saying that address has permanent, as what are they called, fatal errors. In other words, the website's not up. Even though I was just on the website, it was there. None of the tabs worked, which is also embarrassing. But if you're going to have links on your social media, make sure that they work. I'm constantly going through and updating and making sure that this is accurate and current. I just made some changes today. Ken says he can sing. There's a video of me out there on YouTube about 18 years ago of me on a live stage in Orlando singing karaoke with a live band. Wow. The song was Montel Jordan's This Is How We Do It. Wow. Told you. Sexy chocolate. It's my boy. Superfan Ken. Nice. This is how we do it. Is that the one? Did I get it right? Not bad for a white guy? I guess that's the one. That's the only one I can think of. Let me know. Ken, what do you think? Is Doge saving us money? The American government, the taxpayer, society. How's Doge doing? And remember, as we go back for a pontiff check, may we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right. That as we work on electing our new pontiff, still nothing. I guess while I'm talking, we can do that too. Let me see something else. It didn't let me switch that, so maybe. Yeah, that's probably a little better. Make it a little bigger. You just don't need to see my melon head. So I want to finish an update on Newsbreak. We'll get that out of the way. I was going to do that wrapping up hour 2, but I think we'll do it now and get it out of the way. And then we can take a longer look at the varying approval ratings of T-Rump. I call the President of the United States T-Rump. Where do you think I fall on that scale? But Newsbreak, I really liked their format. I really liked the fact that they had a national scene. They had what we'll call legacy media. That's to say that, NBC, CNN, all those had a presence on it. But they also incorporated individuals like us, all of us. And yeah, there was that question of reliability. And I'm sure that there were some people who abused it or made themselves look cooler than what they really are. We probably did that on some level. But we're also growing. And that's why I'm not just offended by it, but I think they're showing their true colors. And I don't know who said it first, but whoever it was who said, when someone tells you who they are, listen. And when I say tells, I guess the quote is probably when someone shows you who they are, listen. And again, same thing, because they could have done better in maybe asking me, when I say us, it's me, on what our future looks like. There might be a doggy break coming soon. Matrix is looking at me like, hey, let's go out. But I really think that with what we're doing with Mastiff Media in general, not just news, development, or reporting and broadcasting, but also the chain of radio stations, the network of radio stations that we're putting together. I think Newsbreak could have been a really good partner. And so if you're not going to support me, I'm not going to support you. These headphones get sweaty. I got an itch. If you're not going to support me, I'm not going to support you. And so the email came back that after careful consideration, bullshit, you've got certain qualifications that I didn't meet because I don't have a lot of money behind me. And so you said no. But because you have no idea really what I've got planned and what I'm developing, this afternoon, I'm going to the same company that wrapped my minivan. And I'm going to meet with them for probably a good hour. What? Outside? Oh, I know the girl wants to go outside. I'm going to meet with them for at least a good hour. Looking at like foam microphones. You know, like those number one things that are like a glove and you wave it at the sports events, or you get like a tomahawk at the Atlanta Braves game or something like that. It's a foam microphone that's going to have Mastiff Media on it, or some sort of gimmick, you know, that it's a microphone. Guys, what? And other trinkets that we'll be able to give away at like Pride events or this farmer's market that's this Sunday here in Sea Ranch. Let me take these two outside. Ow! Don't avoid me, little shit. I'm going to put the doggy break stuff on. We'll leave the music up. And I'll be right back. God, this is the hell of my life. Let's do that. All right. Oh, dogs, kids. I think I'm zoomed in a little too heavy today. That's a little better. All right. So today's a Thursday. We don't have K-Shop, but I'm going to go through some of the plugs anyway. Just some of the reminders. The Twitch feed is twitch.tv/YurgsMedia. That's what goes to Yurgs.com. You can bookmark either of those. I would just bookmark Yurgs.com because then you can also thumb through the website. Jane Stahl, she's with me on Mondays. You can reach her now via email at Jane E. Stahl, STAHL, at Comcast.net. I think it's on Mastiff Media. One of our pages, I'll have to let you know what our actual, it's going to be at mastiffmedia.com, or actually, sorry, mastiff.media. That used to be our link tree of sorts. Let's go down to that one now while we're talking about it. Mastiff.media was our link tree. It's now a functional website of sorts. I mean, it could be better, but I put it together this past weekend on Mix. I'll give you a quick tour of that. And I guess I gotta switch from that, don't I? From one window to the other. Not the best, so bear with me. There's a good shot close-up of the microphone. This is supposed to be a little bit better too, but it didn't come out right. I mean, it's me on Wix, bottom line. The coolest thing though, our stations, Yurgs Radio, Rainbow Radio, and Right Talk Radio, all links to those stations. There it is, rainbowradio.gay. This icon, this is a button. This is going to change eventually. And it's very romper room looking, the lettering, but it's me on Canva, and it was something to get us going. You click on that, it opens a new tab on your browser, and this is the rainbowradio.gay website. And this is where you can easily listen to Rainbow Radio. And that is the same for all three of our stations. Yurgs Radio has a different look on the page, but you can still listen to it here. Right Talk Radio has the, I don't know why, there we go. Has the logo. It is also a button. And for some reason, this link isn't working right now. It goes to a Wix bullshit thing. And it's not even on Wix anymore. So I'm going to have to give that to Nathan and have him wrench on it. We'll have blogs, news. So this might be where I can upload the show notes. So we'll see what I can do there. All this stuff up here, the links to social media, they're not set up yet. Contact info. That's the office phone number. And the link is hot. Just click on the link and it'll call the number. Same thing with all these. 1-888-88-YURGS. Call us. Boom. Same thing with 844 gay LGBT or Rainbow Radio. Call us. Boom. And there's the generic email news, NEWZ at yergs.com. This is the contact tab, remember. So this is not how you listen. It's back under the stations. And right now, Yergs, the Yergs tab is the home page. But that's it. There's nothing. Is that Matrix? Shady? There's nothing there. It's just a landing page for Mastiff Media. So, because this already works, the Mastiff Media logo, I want to create a tab for my bio. But finally, Mastiff Media works. I'm really happy about that. It's not the crappy, God, that was nasty. Our population on Talk TV 24 on YouTube is growing there, so I want to give you guys one more shout out. Another shout out. We don't usually stream to this YouTube channel. Our streaming service, we had some technical issues earlier this week, so I brought some others back on. Right now, the only one that we still have an issue with is Rumble. We're not on Rumble today. I'll get that worked on, and we'll be back on that soon enough. We're trying to also do it to Truth Social. There's Truth TV. There's parts of me that are conservative, and I think that's good for anybody. You don't have to be down a strict party line. I'm also on progressive stations, so on, because I'm the show. Hello, up the middle. But do not get comfortable on YouTube. Get comfortable here, yergs.com and yergs.radio. Bookmark those two. And check in with us weekdays. Unless you're the Australia time. Let's do that. If we would be, let's see, today's Thursday, our Friday show at 11 a.m. is midnight in Tokyo, Saturday, 1 a.m. Saturday in Melbourne. Oh, man. Then I get other technical issues. Jesus H. Christ. I'll be right back. All right. My was a audio interface goes from my mic to the system. It's staticky sometimes, and you got to unplug it, reset, and you're fine, like we are now. I don't know why that keeps happening. It pisses me off. So, those of you checking in on YouTube, thank you. Welcome. But bookmark these addresses on the screen there. Yergs.com and Yergs.radio. That's where we're going to be the most reliable with the censorship that's been happening to us throughout the past 6 months. And just some other, it's going to be better than those two admins. Nobody's going to shadow ban us like is happening on Facebook. Nobody's going to censor TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. It's for all of us. And you can disagree with me too. I welcome that. I appreciate that. Because I'm not afraid to learn. Let me see. May. That was the 5th. I don't know why it's not showing that there, but so that would be there we go. On Monday, for example, when it's 11 a.m. here, it's still Tuesday. So Tokyo, midnight, Eastern Australia, 1 a.m., Tuesday through Saturday. Go to worldtimebuddy.com to better learn more about what time we're on. Compare it to 11 a.m. Eastern and go from there. Okay, we are now into hour number 2. Well into it. And it's time to compare some ratings. Are you guys done playing? Now they're thirsty. Now they're sucking down some water. Good. Now get a nap in. Oy. Done rambling, so let's pot down the music. Got to bring back the papal. What did I call it? What did I call it earlier? I had it too. It was cool. The conclave cam. Say that a couple times. So there it is. Conclave cam. I got to put that up too. Let's put a tab up for that. Let's do this. Watch this. For those of you on radio, I am creating a bottom third tag, an ID, that says conclave cam with an arrow pointing to the screen. I think that's what it is. Conclave cam. I love that. That's quick, easy, kind of stupid. So we actually got to take that off for a minute. I'm going to open it up on my other desktop so we can come back to it if necessary, because we need to actually go to something else. And that is not that. Here we go. Replace tire. There we go. Trump approval ratings. Let's look at this. This is the Google search. Remember that I said in the previous episodes where I taught fact checking. Just go do a Google search. And the reason for that is, I got to increase something here. Just do a Google search. Start with that. That's all you're doing is getting a place to start. And now that we're doing the screen, we can actually bring that in as I show you this. Look at the top 4 stories. The Hill, which I've seen be conservative and progressive. So the Trump approval, favorability, tick up in DDHQ polling averages. I think that stands for Defense Department HQ, headquarters. We'll find out. But Fox News says Trump's approval ratings slide, but of course their usual angle is the Democrats' poll numbers hitting new lows. Also, you know that Fox News is going to also show the bad side of the Dems, and it's fine. But at least they're being honest about their ratings of the president. You know, the survey that they have taken is showing a slide. Newsweek is going even further. It's going even further to say that Donald Trump's approval rating, they're not even calling him the president. It's just Donald Trump. Donald Trump's approval rating is underwater in Florida and Texas. Wow. There's smoke. There's smoke. That's white. That is white smoke, people. That is white smoke. Let's go to that. Well, actually, no. Let's just stay right there. We'll just upgrade this. I hope it's the 45-year-old. So bells are ringing. I'm glad. Wow. Rocking it today. I'm glad we had that up. I'm really glad we had that up. Just now we're bringing it to you first, accurately, because it's right there. I mean, if we're saying it inaccurately, it's because they put the wrong color smoke up the chimney. But again, a record short conclave, day 2. A record short conclave. I don't know if, let's see. Let's bring up. It's got to be the end of the day there. Kyiv, Tel Aviv, Berlin. It's between 5 and 7. I have too many up to add another one, so we're going to put Rome in there. Yeah, this is definitely the second one for the day. So for those tuning in on radio, maybe just joining, we had a side camera for the past hour that's focusing on the Vatican. And moments ago, white smoke came bellowing out of the stack, meaning a new pontiff has been elected. I should say elected, not selected. So that's the bells, the cheering that you're hearing in the background. Of course, I'll stay perhaps live on video for a little bit into Sport Cat's time, or maybe have him. It's going to be 45 minutes from now, so also maybe a little bit much still. But in the event that they actually make the announcement, there'll be who actually he steps out onto a balcony to address the crowd. Kind of cool that we're covering a historic event like this live. Not a bad thing to be doing, right? While I'm paying a huge electric bill because my dogs have my air conditioning running crazy. Let's see. I want to push this out on social media too. I guess they're going to something. There we go.
To the Associated Press live stream of the conclave, and we're bringing you the news that the AP has just confirmed that there is a new pope. We've just confirmed that white smoke has been coming out just in the last few minutes here of the chimney on top of the Sistine Chapel, where 133 cardinal electors have chosen the new leader of the Catholic Church and its 1.4 billion faithful. Just behind me, St. Peter's Square has been erupting in cheers and applause. People are crying, people are clapping. They're watching the smoke pouring out into this beautiful afternoon's blue sky. We're sure that hundreds, maybe thousands, tens of thousands more people will be streaming in to see what's going to happen next and catch the first glimpse of the new Pope who has just been elected to succeed Pope Francis. It is the second day of the conclave. There have been multiple rounds of voting. Again, 133 cardinals, the most geographically diverse conclave in history, a relatively speedy one as well, just a couple of days. And there is a new Pope. Let me tell you what's going to happen next. What I am seeing here, I'm Giovanna Dell'Orto with the AP's Global Religion News Team, and we have also journalists, photographers, reporters, videographers on the ground capturing this historic moment. What's going to happen next is this. There is going to be a little bit of a break. The new Pope is presumably getting into his new clothes, and then he's going to appear on the balcony. But before that, the proto-deacon of the College of Cardinals, that's Cardinal Dominique Mamberti of France, is going to show up on the balcony that you see in the images in the middle of St. Peter's Basilica. And in Latin, he's going to say, "We have a Pope." And then he's going to announce, again in Latin, the birth name of the Pope and the name that the new Pope has chosen as his. And that's something that everybody here is looking forward to hearing, because it will be one of the first signs as to his style, his personality, his priorities. It was that way when Pope Francis chose Francis, the first Francis, as a Pope. So that will be our very first sign. We'll also be looking for what the Pope is wearing. It might sound trivial, but it's not. Whether it's an elaborate style, a very formal style, or like Pope Francis, a simpler style. He addressed the crowd that night a little over 12 years ago with the simple "Buonasera," that's just good evening. And everybody went wild because it was a sign of what would become, in fact, Pope Francis's papacy, a simpler style, a humbler style, a style closer to the people. Now, I told you it's 133 cardinal electors. It is extremely likely that the new Pope is one of them. Which one? We really don't know. Some have been talked about and have been discussed, and we have covered them as likely contenders, but there have been surprises before, so we're not going to speculate on that. We will bring you the news as we have it. As I said, it's going to take a little bit, maybe an hour. Again, we don't know that either, before the proto-deacon of the College of Cardinals shows up on the big decorated balcony that you see in St. Peter's Basilica that has the red drapings. And a little bit later, that's when the Pope will make his very first message. Now, we shouldn't expect a long message. That will come at some point in the next few days when there will be a formal first mass of inauguration of the new Pope. Tonight, it will be just a greeting. But as I said, the people are going to be streaming in from all around Rome. The other thing that you might have been able to hear in my background, I don't know, but it was quite loud, is that almost all the bells in Rome, and there is hundreds of Catholic churches here, have been tolling at the same time to tell the people, as they have for many, many decades, that again, there is a new leader, a successor, not just to Pope Francis, who passed away on the day after Easter on April 21st at age 88, and therefore got this whole process of the conclave to select his successor in motion, but also, and to the believers perhaps more importantly, the successor to Peter. That's why St. Peter's Square is called that, by the way. It's because St. Peter's Square is in front of St. Peter's Basilica, and St. Peter's Basilica was built on the tomb of the Apostle Peter, whom Jesus chose, according to the Gospels, to be the first Pope, the first leader of the Church. And by the way, that's why he was given the name Peter, Peter wasn't called Peter, but that was the name that Jesus gave him to indicate. It means stone in Greek and in many languages. In Italian too, it's pretty close. Pietro, pietra, that's the name for rock. It would be the rock on which the church would stand. And this is still the role that the new pope, whoever it is, has been chosen to fulfill. A tremendous responsibility that has been in line with the solemnity of the ceremonies that we have seen so far and the symbolism. The cardinals, for example, entered the Sistine Chapel under lock and key eventually for their conclave wearing red. Red is a symbol of the blood of martyrs, and many martyrs were killed. In fact, let me give you a fact that is not fun, but is relevant. You might have seen that in the middle of St. Peter's Square, just behind me, there is an obelisk. Well, that was an obelisk that was in ancient Rome, around a location where many Christians were actually martyred in the very early years of the faith. So there's a lot of symbolism behind me, and we will be bringing you more details, and you can find a lot more details and the latest news and explanations and analysis brought by all of our journalists, our international team of AP journalists on the ground at apnews.com, as well as our live blog. And I encourage you to go check out the photo galleries, the live video coverage that we have, our interviews, and a lot more that you can find. And I know, and I am sure that my colleagues from the AP around the world are mobilizing and will be mobilizing to find and bring you more analysis and more information. I can still hear the crowd cheer behind me. The scene is really wonderful. It's full of emotion. It's been a relatively quick conclave. Seems like the weather has cooperated as well. It's an absolutely beautiful spring day with a blue sky that really stood as a nice background and contrast to that huge puff of white smoke that just brought the news to the world's 1.4 billion Catholics and everybody else that, yes, Habemus Papam. That's the sentence that you will hear very shortly, Latin for we do have a new pope. So stay with us. Check out all of our content at apnews.com, and our live blog is there as well. We will be back very shortly to bring you more news, more analysis about what's happening, the next steps, the introduction, and the moment when we will find out who, in fact, the new pope is. Thank you so much for being with us. Continue to stay with us. We'll bring you more news, also apnews.com and our live blog there as well.
So it's kind of ironic. I'm looking at another channel, one that I use for hurricanes here in the Tampa Bay area. And that NBC network is saying there's nothing elected yet. So I put into the chat a link to where we're at yergs.com. I don't know if that's like behind. No, it says it's live. I'm going to put this up. I want you to see this for a minute. I'm going to keep this one because obviously that one's one to stay tuned to. But this is Facebook. This is WFLA. And so now they're focusing on that. That's where he's going to come out to. So hopefully they got it figured out. Trying to turn my subtitles off. There we go. Carmen Ortiz is saying that it will be a black pope. And then it says, "Be careful, people, as we are living last time. This black pope will lead the church with false testament." Oh, get over yourself! Like you know that. But seriously, though, I hope it's the 45-year-old. I hope it's the 45-year-old that's there. I think that would be an amazing option to bring youth back to the Catholic Church. I mean, figure it out. Wouldn't it be? And there's the feed that we had originally. We'll put it over there. So back to the one quote that I gave earlier. So why is that still on now? Where is my cursor? There we go. There we are. Okay. So back to the quote that I gave from earlier. Ken says it was from Maya Angelou. I knew she said that people will always remember how you made them feel, but I didn't know she did that one too. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Good to know. This quote is to encourage to trust your initial impressions and recognize people's behavior and reflection of their true character. Yeah. And I certainly did that with Newsbreak. I'm going to move that over to the other side. So I don't have either of the screens that we're watching right now with volume. The second one froze. There we go. So there's Swiss Guard and the band and whoever that is. That's a steep walk, isn't it? I wonder if they have to wear that uniform every day, or if that's just like a ceremonial thing. Because those are actual bodyguards of the Pope. That is his secret service. I wonder where they get to practice that. So is that one guy out of step that his arms are swinging the opposite direction? Or is he actually supposed to be swinging the opposite direction? That's the things I notice. Because of the fact we're on radio, I'm going to put one of the So it doesn't look like we're going to get to talking about Doge today. We'll save that for tomorrow. We'll ask Matt what he thinks. Yeah, we got a lot going on right now, so you might see some buffering, even on my system. Uh-oh. I'm trying to do things on Facebook while we're watching Facebook. So I think that's why we just lost the full screen here. I kind of love the uniform. It keeps doing that every time I change profiles. Did that guy just check his watch? Seriously, that looked like he just checked his watch. Everything else is taking long to load. He's cute. I was referring to one of the guys in the band, for those of you on radio. Speaking of those on radio, the Swiss Guard, as well as whatever band this is, are in St. Peter's Square as they await the greeting of a new pope. So I will systematically shut things back and forth from one thing to the next. I'm downloading a background, obviously in honor of the Pope, and it's not going well. I think my whole system's freezing. I had some things. There we go. There we go. Hashtag a new Pope. So we are awaiting two things: the arrival of the new Pope and the arrival of Sport Cat, who's up next. I'm going to mute this. We got Sportcat backstage. We'll keep watching, obviously. If we get anybody poking their head out, wanting to address the crowd besides us, then obviously we'll come back. But one of the two things that we've been waiting on has just happened. That's Sportcat. He is joining us now to tell us about what coverage he's got and whatever else he's got going on.
I can confirm that I am not the Pope. So
yes, so one of the two things we've been waiting on is the arrival of the next Pope and the arrival of a Sportcat. We are now batting 500.
You see, and you got the better of the two. I mean, I hate to be arrogant, but I'm the better of the two. So
unless there's one, there's one that I'm pulling for. I think it's a long shot, but I think it would be a brilliant decision by the Catholic Church.
I don't know one from the other, to be honest with you.
Well, there was one, the youngest cardinal in the 133 is 45 years old. Now, if you want to bring youth back to the Catholic Church, don't you think he'd be the guy to do it?
Well, I guess. I mean, I would think, but I don't know. He may come out and tell a dirty joke. I don't know I don't know who you're even speaking of. So.
He's from. That's a great question. No, he's from like the Philippines, I think, or Southeast Asia somewhere.
Okay. I think I've seen pictures of him. So
curly-haired guy.
Yeah, and then there was the guy that they said that was a favorite from. I'm going to screw it up, so we'll just say Africa. I don't know which province or country or state in Africa, but they said he was in the running, but I don't really know any of them, to be honest with you. I mean, it's never something I've followed. So, I mean, I like to watch the pomp and circumstance. I like to watch that. With the royalty, I do too.
The Swiss Guard and whatever band that was.
Yeah, why is it the Swiss Guard?
I don't know why that's. I think because they're impartial.
Oh, okay.
Like every war they've always claimed neutral.
Oh, okay. Well, I understand some of their SOF guys are pretty badass. So.
Yeah, I mean they're
just from
not shows I've watched. Cardinal Mykola Bichuk, Bychok.
But he won't keep that name. He'll change it to something else, right?
That's his birth name. It's called.
Yeah.
I mean, like any of us, a birth name, but that's how they address it, and then they choose a name. Which did you know Peter? Did you know Peter, the disciple, was the first pope?
No, I did. Well, I guess I kind of knew that because that's what I always hear him talking about, Saint Peter. So I guess I kind of knew that.
So that's not his name.
Huh?
Jesus called him Peter, which means rock. And he is going to be the rock in which Jesus' church is going to be built on.
Oh. Okay.
So I have no idea what his original name was.
I guess it was destroyed through history. Yeah.
All right.
That's
so guess where? So no. Okay. Among the new crop of cards, Pope Francis on December stands out. He is the bishop of the Eparchy of Saints Peter and Paul in Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, is where this youngest one is from?
For Ukrainian Catholics in Australia, New Zealand, and Oceania. At the age of 44, so he's only a year into it because he's 45 now. He's become the youngest cardinal in the world.
Interesting. Well, maybe he'll become the youngest pope in the world. It didn't take them long. They only had, 3 votes, right?
Yeah, it was today. So,
they had 1 vote earlier, though, I saw this morning, I guess.
Yeah, so there was, I think there's only 1 or 2 yesterday. and then there's 4 every day after that. I don't know which number this is, but it's after 6:00 p.m. there, so I would guess it's the 4th.
Okay. It may be because I saw
There's,
this morning they said there was a, what was it, the black or whatever color,
yeah, yeah.
white, whichever
So
one it was.
I don't know what number this is, and I don't know exactly when they are. Just that there's 2 morning votes and 2 afternoon votes. But if it's the first of those 2, so what they do to create the smoke is they burn the ballots,
Mm-hmm.
and today they put a chemical in with it that creates either the black or the white smoke. And but if it was like the first of the afternoon votes that they elected the new pope, well, obviously they're not going to have the second vote.
Sure.
Because they're done.
Well,
So,
but then I also heard that they have to do, I guess he has to sign some papers and accept and then do a swearing in ceremony before they do the cloud of smoke, I think. Because they don't want to do that and go, oh no, Bob changed his mind.
yeah, exactly. Yep. So there's that. And now he's getting dressed. Once they get down to like what they call the preferiti, the likely candidates,
mm-hmm.
They all get fitted for the papal outfits.
Okay.
And what I learned from watching today is that you also get to choose the style that you're going to be as Pope. Like Francis was kind of common. And how should I say, kind of less extravagant with his dress.
Gotcha.
But then there are others that took a more royalty type of approach.
Yeah.
And so that's what's also being done now, is that person is not only get it fitted, but also in the actual selection of wardrobe that he's going to lead the church in.
Does he get a cool Secret Service code name?
I don't know how they do that. When I was not in the service for John Paul's visit, and I was working at one of the offices, like one of the headquarters for the Pope Francis. Was it Pope Francis? Or who was the guy right before him?
Oh,
it was the guy right before him.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Benedict. Okay. Yeah. Benedict.
That's correct.
And so I'm not Catholic, so that's another thing. They go through the database because in the event that you're like killed in the line of duty, they've got your faith, so they can bring a minister to last rites and whatever your preference. So of course they know who all the Catholics are.
Sure. Same in the fire service.
First to work the papal visits.
I guess
and so not being Catholic, I got stuck with other stuff.
Well, still important, I'm sure. I think on Fox that girl's boobs just fell out. They're jumping for a drone flying over and waving, and this girl was jumping, and I'm pretty sure her boobs just fell out.
That could be. They switched camera. They switched camera earlier. One of the bands that was on St. Peter's Square, one of the guys checked his watch, and they quick went to another camera angle.
Oh, yeah. That's bad. You guys couldn't even do that. So, yeah, that's bad. So, hey, speaking of watch, I'm 4 minutes into my time. So, do you want to keep the radio since you're into this? Or?
Yeah, you take the radio and you do and let everybody know they can go to yergs.com for the video feed. I'll keep this going for a few more, but I've got an appointment that I can't miss later this afternoon too. So we'll just have to see it on.
I got Miss Ginger handed off. She is out there currently getting a spa.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's getting taken care of. So I got her handed off and she's doing well. So yeah. So let me go ahead and kick it off whenever you're ready to give me the radio.
Yeah,
And last night,
There
I
you
do
go.
not know
Radio's off.
what happened. I do not know what happened, but once again, the studio shit the bed when I hit go live. And I
Really?
have no idea why. And then I went back in later to download the feed because I had to upload it, obviously, to some places. And it said I was still in the studio that never went live. So I have no idea what it did. And
Oh, wow.
sometimes when you discuss some paranormal things, weird shit happens. I'm gonna put this one on Facebook though because of the guest. I'm gonna bet they probably killed my show, in which caused whatever syntax error when I hit go live. So I'm gonna guess on that one this time because we really didn't get into the paranormal stuff that much. So
Because of the titty and other type of talk.
yeah. Hey, she brought puppets.
I saw the flower or whatever that was representing another flower.
She brought puppets, and I was like, that gives a whole new meaning to puppets to me because I always picture Kermit the Frog with a hand up his ass, but that, oh, I'm in.
Or even JD's buddy.
JD, JD.
What's it? What's your ventriloquist on?
Oh, JT. Sorry, yeah. Yeah. I would have loved to have had JT on for that. So, but he's out doing JT things. So, all right. Well, let me get out of here. My chat is already
All right,
going long. I got 15 people in the chat, so let me get out of here. Everybody, come over if you want to see how Mama says I have a face for radio to the para our normal 3 words guys with a Z. Ross, love you, brother. I will see
all right, buddy.
you.
Like you. All right.
All right.
Love you,
All
man.
right.
Talk to you.
All right.
All right, so we'll stay put here for a little bit more. You can go over to I didn't put that up, but I will. If you want to follow video on if you want to follow video on now I'm brain farting. Well, if you want to follow video on Sportcats Daily Gazette, there we go. Go to Para or Normal Guys, Para or Normal Guys with a Z on YouTube. Or you can just stay on Yerg's Radio, Rainbow Radio, Right Talk Radio, which is down today, Radio X, and Radio Live. And there's the window. Oh, did I see? I thought I saw some movement, like at a curtain or whatever. That's the balcony. In the main screen has 2 other. It's St. Peter's Square. I think we should put up the Pope cam, conclave cam. So if you're just joining us, there have been some people back and forth. Welcome. Just a reminder, those joining on YouTube, today's kind of special because we lost one of our other destinations. We had some issues all week with Rumble, so we're not on Rumble today. As soon as we get that fixed, we will be dropping Talk TV 24 on YouTube again. We're not streaming to YouTube anymore because from being shadow banned on some of these platforms to outright taken down and blatantly censored, we're not going to waste our time when we can just use them for what we know isn't going to be destroyed, and then we can do it from there. So Ken said, we were talking earlier about the uniforms that they wear. He thinks that is the main and really only uniform for the Swiss Guard. And then there's some that are actually armored. I would suspect that because they are an actual security detail, they are better equipped. The original name of Peter, I thought it was Simon. That could be. Yep, there he goes. From the New Testament, Superfan Ken coming to the rescue. It says Peter, original name is Simon. Isn't that who was Simon Peter then? Isn't there another? It's like, wasn't that from The Saint, the TV show and the movie? What is this now? Oh, he's hot. Thought Leader, Revolution Podcast, Hairy Muscle Guy, Tatted Sleeve. That's all I know. Hot guy, though. Probably uber straight and homophobic. I don't do this for podcasts. I don't do this episode 1, 2, 3, whatever, because that doesn't tell you anything. Instead, I have a 6-digit system that I use. The first 2 digits are the year. The next 2 digits are the month. And the last 2 digits are the date. So today's episode will be 25/05/08. And then because we had different segments, it'll be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, depending on how many segments there are. Well, we are coming up on almost an hour, since it's about 45 minutes since we got the smoke. And unfortunately, I'm not able to continue because, like I said, I have an appointment that's in about an hour from now. Oh, that I got to clean up for. All right, gang. Yeah, Matrix is coughing because of that. You bust ass into your dog's face and, wow. All right. Yeah. So that's going to be it for today. There's a new Pope. Thanks for joining. Those on YouTube, remember, join tomorrow and every other day on either, where'd it go? There we are. On either yergs.com or yergs.radio. Yergs.com has audio. Yergs.radio has Yergs.radio has audio only. Yergs.com has video. Yergs.radio is 24. Here we go.
Bertie,
He's smiling.
He's smiling. He will give us the announcement. Here we are.
Suspense.
Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum. Habemus papam.
So now the CNBC is behind.
Eminentissimum, ac reverendissimum Dominum, Dominum Robertum Franciscum, Sancte Romane Ecclesiae, Cardinalem Prevost.
So Roberto was his given name.
Qui sibi nomen imposuit Leonem decimum quartum.
So the Pope is Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, who's taken the name of Leo XIV, Pope Leo XIV. Cardinal Prevost is an American, and he spent most of his ministry in Latin America, in Peru, and also in Paraguay. And he's an Augustinian father, He was the provincial in Latin America, and then became the Bishop of Chiclayo in Peru. And he then is also he became the Superior General of the Augustinian Fathers as well. He's now he's been the prefect of the dicastery for bishops.
We see the cardinal electors there appearing on the balcony there as well, with this joy and the smiles on their
Well, we can
face.
cut the other feed because it's way behind.
And, well, it wasn't one of those. I can't believe what to say. What a great job.
It's a wonderful joy. And, he's from Chicago,
Yes.
Illinois. Okay.
An American.
So, an American Pope.
I think that's a historic moment.
It's
Sure.
truly historic.
And you can see all the cardinals on the different balconies there. For our radio listeners, you may not be able to see this, of course, but they're appearing on all the balconies to the left and right of the central balcony there. All of them clearly standing out with their red vestments and smiles, and
waiting to again for all of us to greet this new pope as well,
The new Pope.
which now we know his name.
I've got to be honest.
Robert Francis Prevost,
gotta wonder
Augustinian,
if there's anything to do
served as
with how
prefect of
screwed up
dicastery
this
for-
country is
for
right now.
bishops. A native of Chicago, Illinois, in the United States.
Wow. And so as we said before, you saw all the flags and everything out in the
Yes.
square, and now all the Americans are holding their flags.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's a historic moment. Who would have imagined?
Too, I'm sure.
It's-
He spent
that's a-
most of his ministry in Peru.
Yeah, and that's a special thing, So he has a connection with
missionary
multiple.
experience
Exactly.
and this
Exactly.
continuation of evangelization
Mhm.
mission of the church.
The priority, yeah. So you can see still the like little pockets of red.
Damn it. I'm
And
trying
now
to.
all the Americans are holding their flags.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's a historic
And the
moment. Who would have
Peruvians
imagined?
too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He spent most of his ministry in Peru.
Yeah, and that's a special thing, So he has a connection with
missionary
multiple.
experience
Exactly.
and this
Exactly.
continuation of evangelization
Mhm.
mission of the church.
The priority, yeah. So you can see still the like little pockets of red where all the
Yes.
cardinals are standing on
Yeah.
the balconies.
And from our Vati drone footage, and seeing it from above there. It's a unique view, perched above in front of the facade and looking down at them as they're on the balcony.
Leo the Third.
So it's still fairly recent in the
Yes,
grand scheme of
Was
things.
Pope the one with Rerum Nova?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, good memory.
From my seminary.
And then his successors wrote other encyclicals every 40 years afterwards.
So he started like
on
a
the
trend.
subject. Yes, and it's really one of the constitutions of Catholic social ministry.
And
Catholic
probably I
social
would say
doctrine.
a Pope needed for our times with all the social challenges the world
Yes,
has
yes,
today.
yes.
And he's, relatively young, 69 years old, born
Yes.
on the 14th of September, 1955, as you mentioned, in Chicago, Illinois. And so 69.
Mhm. Well, and Father Paul, as you were just saying, I agree, and maybe Father Bob, you can really stress this point because you work in
The
social
dicastery
humanitarian.
for
Exactly.
integral human development.
This
yes.
is an important aspect
Yes.
of the church.
Yes.
The
yes.
Catholic teaching,
Mhm.
Catholic social teaching,
Yes.
I think is important,
Very.
and it's often called the untold story of the church,
Mhm.
or perhaps the hidden secret of the church. And it has so much, and there's a lot of development.
And was one of the needs discussed by the cardinals during their congregations
Exactly.
this last week too. So.
Exactly.
There we
Ah,
see
there's
the
the American flag.
There's
being
a
waved.
flag there. People are thrilled about this.
Yeah, and
And
there's quite a number of American students.
Oh, yes.
Dr. O'Donnell was here, and he was going to be in the square with his American students. So you can imagine them
What a
Oh,
cheering.
yes.
It will be a treat for them, indeed. Yes.
I can imagine the scene. The house I live behind is the Basilica of St. Augustine, where we have also the tomb of St. Monica.
Yes.
So that's a
Beautiful
great day
church.
for all the Augustinians.
Yeah, very special day.
Indeed, he, looking at his biography in going back to more recent history, 1999, he was elected the provincial prior of the Mother of Good Counsel province in Chicago of the Augustinians, and after 2.5 years, the ordinary general chapter elected him prior general of the order of the OSAs. Ministry again entrusted to him in 2007 at their ordinary general chapter. And reading here in October 2013, he returned to his province of Chicago to serve as teacher of the professed and provincial. He served as, and then let's see, his roles there. In 3rd of November 2014, when Pope Francis appointed him apostolic minister of the Diocese of Chiclayo in Peru, where he served many years, and he was made a bishop there, and he served there for many years. And then in March 2018, he became second vice president of the Peruvian Episcopal Conference. So working as a missionary there, missionary bishop as well in Peru. Here we're seeing these beautiful shots of the Vati drone there, of at the same level almost of those balconies, and all the cardinals kind of crowded in those balconies.
And they look like they have the same anticipation that we do.
Exactly. Any moment now, Pope Leo the 14th will be appearing.
Pope Leo the 14th.
Will be appearing from that balcony.
Well,
Leo the 14th.
Looking again at his predecessor, well, the person he took the name from before, Leo the 13th, Pope Leo the 13th had the third longest papacy, well, verified papacy that we know of, behind Peter, the apostle, and then John Paul II. So one from way back in church history and one from our very recent history.
Long live the Pope.
Exactly. No, and even on the screens now you can see a lot of people climbing up on the what are they? The lampposts in St. Peter's Square, just trying to get a good view of the new Pope.
And there we have the cardinals. These are the cardinal electors, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. The ones that helped make this decision.
Yes.
Which, since we had 133 cardinal electors, then
that is not me coughing.
We had to
for
have
the
a majority
record.
of 89 cardinal electors to vote for cardinal.
I found intriguing the fact that the voting takes place in the Sistine Chapel, where you have the last judgment.
Right.
So whatever you do, whatever you decide, that's between you and the Lord.
Yes.
Because the weight of the responsibility is so great. So very fitting, very telling, eh?
Well, and before you came in, Father Paul, Dr. Liz Lev was talking about the Pauline Chapel, and that's where the new Pope, now Pope Leo the 14th, when he will walk down this hallway in the chapel, and at the end of the chapel is an image of Peter crucified upside down, but the artist turned his head so that when the new Pope is walking down
there he
the hallway,
comes.
Peter's eyes are following.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Pope Leo the 14th is now appearing, coming to the central loggia of the Basilica.
Very special moment.
Very special moment.
And here he is.
There he is,
And the applause going up, the greeting, the waving,
big
the
smiles.
smiles.
How amazing.
Amazing.
And Dr. Liz Lev was also talking about the symbolism of the red that he's wearing. You know, it is a sacrificial role, and that is the symbol of the cloth that he's wearing right now.
And we see this beautiful close-up view from the side there, at the same level as the loggia. Pope Leo the 14th.
Pope Leo the 14th.
Amazing. Smiling.
Smiling.
And you can see who wouldn't be taken by the moment.
I think going through his mind, the weight of this responsibility.
Oh, yeah. You can see it on his face.
You can see it on his face.
Amazing.
After this, you're never the same person.
No.
And we're hearing the bands below the mutual salute of the anthems, the hymns, the Vatican hymn and the Italian national anthem, as we do traditionally through Easter and Christmas as we mentioned.
And after this, now Pope Leo XIV, he will give a greeting and impart his first apostolic blessing, the Urbi et Orbi, to the city and to the whole world.
So that blessing extends to everyone who is watching, everyone who is listening, your family, wherever you are. It's a great moment to prepare ourselves for this first blessing.
This most solemn blessing, you can just feel and see the emotion on his face.
Yeah.
This is also how you get behind a leader. When it's chosen diplomatically, legitimately, the pissing match is over. So congrats again to 1.4 billion Catholics worldwide.
So just getting messages here. Congratulations. God bless the Pope. And you can hear the chanting from the square.
Long live the Pope. Viva el Papa. Viva el Papa.
Viva el Papa.
And we're all silent now, awaiting his first words.
La pace sia con tutti voi. Fratelli, sorelle carissimi, questo è il primo saluto del Cristo risorto, il buon pastore che ha dato la vita per il gregge di Dio. Anch'io vorrei che questo saluto di pace entrasse nel vostro cuore, raggiungesse le vostre famiglie, a tutte le persone, ovunque siano, a tutti i popoli, a tutta la terra. La pace sia con voi.
We're just hearing the first words of Pope Leo XIV. As he continues, we'll provide a summary here in just a moment as we listen to his words. He's asked everyone to, brothers,
Questa è la pace di Cristo risorto.
this is the peace
Una
of the risen
pace
Christ,
disarmata e una pace disarmante.
a peace that is
Umile e
disarming and
perseverante.
humble and persevering.
Proviene da Dio.
It comes from
Dio
God,
che ci ama a tutti
God who loves all of us
incondizionalmente.
without any limits and conditions.
Ancora conserviamo nei nostri orecchi
And
quella voce debole ma
we
sempre
still have
coraggiosa
the sound
di
in our
Papa
ears of
Francesco,
the weak
che
voice of Pope
benediva
Francis,
Roma.
who is blessing Rome here. We have that fresh in our minds, in our hearts, in our ears, hearing his voice.
Il Papa che benediva
The
Roma
Pope who was blessing
dava la
Rome,
sua benedizione al mondo
giving his blessing
intero,
to the world
quella mattina del giorno di
on that
Pasqua.
morning, on that day of Easter Sunday.
Consentitemi di dar seguito a quella stessa
Allow me
benedizione.
to continue
Dio
that
ci
same
vuole
blessing.
bene, Dio vi ama tutti
God loves
e
everyone.
il male non prevarrà.
Evil will not
Siamo
prevail.
tutti nelle mani
We
di
are all
Dio.
in the hands of God.
Pertanto, senza paura,
So without fear,
uniti,
united,
mano nella mano con Dio
hand in
e
hand,
tra di noi,
with God and among ourselves,
andiamo avanti.
we go forward.
Siamo discepoli di
We are
Cristo.
disciples of Christ.
Cristo ci precede.
Christ goes before us.
Il mondo ha bisogno della sua
The
luce.
world needs his light.
L'umanità necessita di Lui come
Humanity
il ponte
needs
per
him.
essere raggiunta da Dio e dal suo amore.
But as the bridge between God and his love.
Aiutateci anche voi poi gli uni gli altri a costruire i ponti.
May we all
Con il
build
dialogo,
bridges
con
with
l'incontro,
dialogue and
unendoci
encounter,
tutti per essere un solo
so that we can
popolo,
all be
sempre in pace.
one people, all in peace.
Grazie a Papa Francesco.
Thank you, Pope Francis, for all you've done. We're hearing the first words here of Pope Leo XIV, just elected Pope.
Voglio ringraziare anche tutti i confratelli
I'd like to
cardinali
also
che
thank my
hanno
brother cardinals
scelto me
who chose
per essere
me to
il successore di
be the
Pietro
successor of
e
Peter
camminare insieme a voi
and to
come Chiesa
walk along
unita,
with you,
cercando sempre la pace, la giustizia,
searching all together for
cercando
peace and
sempre
justice,
lavorare come uomini
and working
e donne
together,
fedeli a Gesù
men and women
Cristo,
faithful to
senza
Christ,
paura,
without fear,
per proclamare
to
il Vangelo,
proclaim the
per
gospel,
essere missionari.
to be missionaries. Pope Leo offering these initial words, which we're just translating on the fly here.
Un figlio di Sant'Agostino,
I'm a son of Saint Augustine,
agostiniano,
and I'm an Augustinian
che ha detto: con voi sono cristiano
who said,
e per voi vescovo.
with you I
In
am a
questo
Christian, and
senso
for you I
possiamo
am a bishop.
tutti camminare
So
insieme
may we all
verso quella
walk together
patria
towards that,
la quale Dio ci ha preparato.
to the place that God has prepared for us. May we walk together,
Alla
accompany each
Chiesa
other. To the Church
di Roma,
of Rome,
un saluto
a
speciale.
special greeting. As Bishop of Rome, of course, a special greeting.
Dobbiamo cercare insieme come essere
We've
una
got to
chiesa
look
missionaria,
at how we can together be a
una
missionary
chiesa
church,
che costruisce i
a
ponti,
church
il
that builds
dialogo,
bridges,
sempre aperta a ricevere, come
that is
questa
always
piazza
open
con le
to
braccia
receive
aperte a tutti,
everyone,
tutti coloro
just like
che
in
hanno
this square,
bisogno
to receive
della
everyone,
nostra
to welcome
carità, la
everyone,
nostra presenza,
our
il
charity,
dialogo,
our
l'amore.
dialogue and love.
Y se me permiten también una palabra, un saludo.
And now, a greeting in Spanish. Please allow me here
A
to
todos aquellos, y en modo particular a mi querida diócesis de Chiclayo en el
So
Perú,
to all of you, but especially to the people of my diocese of Chiclayo in Peru,
donde un pueblo fiel ha acompañado a su obispo, ha compartido su fe y ha dado tanto, tanto para
where we
seguir
had such faithful
siendo
people accompanying
iglesia
the
fiel de
bishop, and we
Jesucristo.
had such faithful
A
people
tutti voi,
helping the
fratelli e
bishop.
sorelle di Roma, d'Italia, di tutto il
To
mondo,
all of you,
vogliamo
the
essere
people
una
of Rome
chiesa
and of Italy,
sinodale, una chiesa che cammina, una chiesa che
we need to
cerca
be a
sempre la
synodal
pace,
church, a
cerca
church that's a
sempre la
pilgrim,
carità, cerca
that
sempre di
shows
essere
charity
vicino,
always,
specialmente a coloro che soffrono.
and especially is charitable to those who are suffering.
Oggi,
Today,
il giorno della supplica alla Madonna di Pompei.
today is the day of praying to the
Nostra
Madonna
Madre
Pompeii.
Maria vuole sempre camminare con noi, stare
Our
vicino,
Blessed Mother Mary always
aiutarci
wants to
con
be
la sua
close to us.
intercessione e il suo amore.
She always
Allora
wants to
vorrei pregare
intercede for us
insieme a voi.
through her love.
Preghiamo insieme
So
per questa nuova
let
missione,
us pray together
però
for
per
this new
tutta la
mission,
Chiesa,
for
per la
all of the
pace nel
church,
mondo.
for peace
E
in the world,
chiediamo questa grazia speciale
that she will
di
help
Maria,
us
nostra
give us a
Madre.
special grace, our Mother.
Ave Maria, piena di grazia,
Hail Mary,
il
full of
Signore è
grace,
con
the Lord
te.
is with you.
Tu sei benedetta fra le
You are
donne
blessed among
e
women,
benedetto è il frutto del
and
tuo
blessed is
seno,
the fruit
Gesù.
of your womb, Jesus.
Santa Maria,
Holy
Madre
Mary,
di Dio,
Mother of God,
prega per noi
pray
peccatori,
for us sinners,
adesso e nell'ora
now
della
and at the
nostra
end hour of our
morte.
death.
Amen.
Amen.
Pope Leo XIV there.
Pope Leo XIV, very interesting. A few things coming out already there from his first piece. talking about peace.
And he's saying a greeting of peace. May my greeting of peace enter into your hearts and reach your families. All people, wherever you are, all peoples of the entire planet. May peace be with you. God's peace be with you, he said. And here we see him in his, after having given that opening and beautiful words.
Continuing
to all.
also the message of Pope Francis, where he even said in Spanish and Italian, tutti, tutti,
Il
tutti,
Santo
todos.
Padre Leone, a tutti i fedeli presenti
And the Holy
e a
Father Pope
quelli che
Leo,
ricevono la sua
to all people
benedizione a
in the
mezzo
square
della
and all
radio, della
receiving
televisione e
are
delle
hearing this
altre tecnologie
through
di
new technology,
comunicazione,
online, everywhere.
concede l'indulgenza
Offers
plenaria
his,
nella forma
the
stabilita dalla
plenary
Chiesa.
indulgence in the formula established by the
Preghiamo
Church.
Dio
We pray
Onnipotente
to Almighty God
perché conservi a lungo il
that
Papa a
He may
guida della
keep the Pope
Chiesa e conceda
and
pace e
protect him
unità alla Chiesa
and
in
guide the
tutto il
Church
mondo.
and the
And there it is. We have a new pope. And I'm off to a meeting. And that's that one. So, all right, gang. I will see you again tomorrow. We'll get to those ratings. We'll get to what else? Oh, is Doge saving money? We'll put that on for tomorrow, and we'll see what Matt has to say about it, and then go from there. Congrats to Catholics everywhere. Pope Leo the 14th, a Chicago, Illinois, United States native, is the next pope. All right. See you tomorrow.